Okay, so I've just been building this doorway, and I just wanted to show this is a great example of the difference between the face strength modes when you're using weighted normals. So on this, and I'm using I don't know, some it's like a modifier add-on where it kind of it shows you information that you need and filters out stuff. So like just showing one modifier at a time. So anyway, don't be confused about all this. It's just the same modifier stuff, just different layout. Um, but over here I've got my weighted normal modifier at the very end of everything, and then ideally a triangulate modifier will go on top of that. But without this, this is what I get with smooth results, right? I stick that on though. I come over here. This is just my general angle bevel. But here the face strength modes. If I just leave none on, and my weighted normal is saying I always check these, keep sharp and face influence. Now there's no face influence because of this bevel here. Face strength mode is not set to anything, so there's no face influence. But once I set this to new, still doesn't do anything. I always hit affected. What affected is doing is it's giving all the bevels that it's creating through this modifier. So within its own modifier, it's setting all of the bevels as a weak influence and setting the surrounding ones to a strong or a medium one. And that's what we want. We want all these bevels to have a really weak influence. Yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to showcase this, and I really like the decimate modifier because, I mean, ideally I use, like, without the decimate modifier, like, I have all these edges and stuff, and I don't want to worry about those things. So I stick a decimate on, and that gets rid of a lot of it. I cut my geometry up a ton because I have all these booleans, and without them, like if I just take this off and take these off and do this, then I get some, like, I just get weird bevel results like you see it here. And maybe all that's needed is well, never mind, because I put a solidify modifier in that. But anyway, so I just cut it up so then my booleans act and behave properly. Let me just undo that a bunch. Undo, perfect. So anyway, I just have some cuts to allow the n-gons to behave properly. That's all I'm doing. But yeah, I love using the decimate planar method. Anyway, this is just a small example, just because I talk about this a lot to people, about using the bevel modifier and the weighted normal modifier together. And this is a perfect example of the difference. So none, I get, some, just the shading issue isn't great, or the shading isn't great. But then sticking it to affected by giving all these bevels a weak influence, that's exactly what we want. So always check affected. I have to set face strength on all faces. Now, I think these might be similar. So what affected is doing is, oh, look at that. Look at my try amount and my vertex amount. That is really interesting, actually. So there's more on all and less on affected. I wonder why. Over here, look. That is interesting how that is affecting my edge flow. That is really weird. Anyway, but I've just found that what I think all is doing is it's giving it's saying every face strength mode is set to, it's setting the face strength of every face, where this is only setting the face strength to what the bevel is affected. So the bevel and its surrounding geometry, right? So if you just had two faces that meet at a 90-degree angle like this, then this is given a face strength and this is given a face strength, and then we have the bevel itself, which is given a weak face strength. In this case, I think all in effect are pretty much doing the same thing. I guess there's just something weird that's making it act a little differently. I don't know. This is interesting to me. Um, Bevel ideally should actually go before the mirror, so I'll probably push the mirror down after the bevels. Then we have the same bevel. Okay. Anyway, that's all. Just a small update. So this is actually quite modular here. So this is just before I had my sizes down. I made it very non-destructive just to play around getting the sizes right. I actually did so this is UV mapped to this texture right here. So the original thing is literally just a plane, and I mean, if I select just the border and then change it, so I just started off with a plane like this, and I thought, okay, I need to know exactly like where to put these. I don't know if this is just too perfectionist of me, but I mapped it to this, and because of the perspective, I just had to tweak in, just stick the corners, the vertex corners where they go in the picture. It should give me something similar. Now, I did mirror it over. This, I think, just because of the like lens distortion, this was not getting very like it was. I wasn't getting the same width there, so I trusted this because it was wider. Anyway, and it should be close enough, but that's how I went about building this. And then what else? I should put those subdivisions back again. There we go. Then it gets my bevels behaving correctly, and then I'll just go in and clean it up later when I'm just for now while I'm keeping it non-destructive. I'll just slap a bunch in and call it good. Do I have anything else to show? I don't know. Oops. Let's put a Mac cap on. I'll just inspect it real fast. I think this actually is kind of ready to go on. Oh, sorry. I was showing all the different modifiers that are on. So if I turn off all the visibility, so I have this Boolean, and then I have a solidify think right after. Yep. So that's to give me the right distance I have, so 1.5 units. And then we have this object, so I just have a separate object here. And if I want to make it more modular, non-destructive, then I could just, select these faces, essentially. Or just select this, Control G, and do select similar normal. I can invert that, or I could select the other whatever, and just get rid of the faces and now put a solidify modifier on this. So I'll just do solidify right here and put this a bit before the mirror. It's mirroring over to this side as well, which it really doesn't need to because I've got a mirror modifier on this. But if there we go. We can push into that now, and we can change this on the fly without ever even having to go into edit mode. So that's really useful. And then what's next after that? We have. So I took this profile here, and I matched up the cubes. Oh, sorry. Frame holes. So it started off like this. I just took this and cut it up a bunch just to get the, there's 12 on the bottom, there's 12 on the top, there's 2 on the side, 2 on the side, 2 on the side. And anyway, so then this is my backup, but here is, I just took the planes where I found where I wanted them, and I just put a solidify modifier on, and then a mirror. So then we're just getting that as a Boolean on this big frame. So there it is, and I can change the width of that whenever I need, just like I did before. So there we go. That's nice. What else? What comes next? Okay, so this is the separation right here, and there's nothing really too non-destructive about this. It's just so I took the width of this and cut it up. Like I just counted in the reference image just how many there are. So, you know, 1 edge, 2 edge, 3 edge, 4 edge, 5, 6. So I made 6 cuts and then got rid of the, you know, got rid of the ones I didn't need. And then let's see what else. So then we have our decimate, which, you know, before it looks like this, and we don't need all that geometry in the way, so I'll just get rid of it. And then, and it's not too smart sometimes, unfortunately, but I'll leave that the way it is and put a bevel on it. I wonder if I can actually copy this over and put it below. Because without this, yeah, I probably don't want to do that. I'll probably just get rid of that. So anyway, then I'll put the bevel modifier on, which has my, I'm setting this up for weighted normals. And then I'm mirroring everything. So right now, this side doesn't have anything, and I'm just going to mirror it over. So it's all the same from, let's overturn it. I don't know, anyway, so we're getting the same bevels. And then finally our weighted normal modifier to clean things up. And I think now this is ready for like a quick unwrap and texturing. And this isn't going to have like a specific individual texture. It's so big that an individual texture would, you know, this would be quite a large texture. And this is, I covered a video earlier on these blog things, looking into what this was, and in the game these look like it's actual geometry with like some form of screen space occlusion. So that's what we'll probably do. It's just as like a general tiling texture on with some screen space occlusion, and within these gaps, like you can see them kind of here, they have like these like panel trim things. They probably just have one big texture that's just full of these button panel things that they've just spread all over the game, and they just have that on a plane shoved in there. So anyway, yeah, but yeah, so I think this is kind of ready to go. I'll probably make the doors themselves too. Like we have the doorways, but I don't want to go into making this whole room too. I'll probably close them off. So we'll make the door pieces as well that close. So, you know, doing all this work, adding all this in, I don't know if I'm going to need it or not, but it at least looks nice, I guess. So anyway, we'll make those door pieces and make this a closed door and just call it good. Oh, and I just thought that I haven't made any piece for this, and I'm wondering about this like bottom piece here. I need to get the pipes done too, so I haven't gotten the pipes in that modular piece yet. Anyway, so just making one piece at a time, and I'm really trying to keep these on the grid and everything too. So like in here, just so here for instance, I reset the transform of this, but I tested it in like on multiple of the doors, and the environment's kind of rotated, I guess, just slightly. But I just pulled this up and got this as close as I could to like an exact unit measurement, so my dimensions are all, you know, kind of squared off by, you know, quarters of a meter. And this seems to line up the best. And then yeah, I just kind of made some slight adjustments comparing with the UVs of it with you know, this reference on. So just kind of pulling up the door, getting it to the right size, and getting these panels on. So anyway, that's kind of how I went building this. I wasn't gonna say this was done for this video, but I guess it is now that I've put the weighted normals on. I don't, you know, weighted normals you can put on whenever, I guess, but you don't even want to worry about the weighted normals until after you've got the shape all the way done. Normals are just, that's the polish stuff. You want the geometry where you need it first, and then you worry about the normals after. So anyway, I think this is looking good, and I need to unwrap it now and just stick a tiling metal texture on it. That's going to be the same as my panels and things, and move on. So and create the actual door piece too, and do that for the smaller door as well. So this one, yeah, making a door, an actual door geometry for this thing. So yeah, the end. Cool. Bye.